Okay, TPOE album club pick this month is Kean Kavanagh's debut album, The County Star. I did promise that I would have an interview with Kean Kavanagh in the podcast last week. I did actually do it last week after a couple of technical issues, but it's actually going to come out next week. I had jumped on the podcast last week. It was slightly more timely, them coming off their tour with Mail and Cola. So I put that out last week. But yeah, I had a really nice chat with Kean Kavanagh about the County Star. Do you want to talk about it first, Ciara? What do you think of this album? Had you been familiar with him before? I mean, I said to you that I really loved his debut project. We're calling it now Dog Person, which came out in 2020.
Yeah, no, I've been familiar with Keane from probably the start. Like, I think I started listening to Kojak around that time, so then I kind of was in the soft boy kind of world. And I didn't really know what I made of him for a little while. You know, I'd heard like one or two songs, but I didn't really give them a proper chance. And then when I did, I got really into it. But obviously, he hadn't released music for quite a while. And I read an interview with him just today for Wonderland magazine. And he got a vocal strain, like a vocal injury so bad that he couldn't sing for about a year in 2022 when he was on tour with Kojak. So he basically had to relearn how to sing. And this album is so different to anything that he's done before. And I was really kind of intrigued about the background of it. So, himself and his sister were born in Texas, and his parents moved over, and now he's from kind of grew up in Portlaoise, now lives in London. So when he was learning to sing again, he kind of went back to the music of his childhood. So he was singing a lot of Hank Williams, kind of an easier register for him to sing in while he was learning again and training himself again. And then when he moved over to London, he was feeling quite homesick. So he was kind of listening to a lot of Irish music and wanted to incorporate that. And this album, The County Star, is really a mix of Americana and like traditional Irish, kind of like it's beautifully done. So he says that Fionn, I'm going to butcher this, I'm sorry I didn't read it before, but Fionn O'Halvan, I think, played uilleann pipes on Father Brown's and Texas Tea. Anya McGeeney played the whistle on The Whistle, and Ronan Barra played fiddle on The County Star. And these performances really gave the whole thing that sense of place. The pipes in particular are so evocative to me. They bring me straight back to hearing the pipe band play and march around O'Moore Park when I was a child, or listening to Moving Hearts in a car going on our holidays. So there's really so much to delve into there. There's so much depth and there's so much to love, I think. I was listening to it on the way back from Beyond the Pale the other day, and there was a Laois car in front of me and a Laois car behind me. I was listening to this Laois singer. So it felt it felt a bit serendipitous. I think my two favourite songs are 45s and The County Star, but I also love Melting. It just seems like a lovely kind of love song.
Yeah, so he says the album title is kind of this identity. He had this theme before he went to record it. He just had this album title, The County Star. What does it represent? He imagined this person from Texas, and I think that you can see him on the album cover dressed as this character, wearing kind of what we would think of as traditional cowboy singer type gear. And he's sitting in O'Moore Park, which is where Laois play their home games in Portlaoise, GA. Gaelic football team, and so he has all of this melting around. It is this melting pot of ideas that he has on this album, and identity comes up again and again for him. You mentioned Father Brown's. I think that it might be a pub or something like that in Portlaoise. I didn't go that deep into my research for the album, and I don't think I actually asked him what it is. But yeah, on that song, he contrasts his fortunes. He sings, "Dropped by the county in January, my heart grew thickened." Just this idea of the Gan, how it is almost everything in society, and he compares it to the 1578 massacre of Malach Mast, then, and brings in his family history as well, explaining that my old pair, his parents, went west out to Texas. That was back in the 80s when work was thinning. And he brings it all back to the emigration issues of today. He sings hypocrites, all of them living that say the place is full up and we can go anywhere, but they can't come here. They'd shoot holes in them boats and leave the kids die swimming. Just watch the kids die swimming. I think it's the best song that Kean Kavanagh has written. It's the centerpiece of this album, which is one of the best Irish releases of the year. But so that just showcases what a great lyricist he's become. But overall, The County Star is just a rollicking indie rock album. You mentioned 45's, the second track on the album, which is just, oh, it's so good. It hits every indie rock box that I've got. The likes of The Whistle just sound so big as he's singing You're All I Need. You could imagine people singing that back at him, which is what every band tries to create. And then it is a love album as well. He's got a line on Melting, You're Sweeter Than Robinson's, which is such an Irish thing, talking about this cordial drink that every child in Ireland drinks. You're sweeter than Robinson's. It's just so good.
Lovely.
And he has more little Irish things in there as well. Like you can hear the theme music to the Sunday game in there too, which everybody in Ireland will be able to recognise too. It's just all of these things coalescing in this less than 40-minute 10-track album. One of the best Irish albums of the year, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree.